can't come in hot like that.
I like the orange pumpkin look.
Yeah? How'd you know we were recording?
We're recording?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know we were recording either.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Stay Frothy, the podcast you'll hate that you love. Nailed it. Fuck yeah.
Can we start over?
No. Final cuts. We're doing it one take. One take is all we got, baby. One take.
It starts out like this every single time.
I thought that was a pretty good intro, if I do say so myself. We're getting better. Trial and error, baby. That's all we got. So yeah, man. How was your weekend?
Weekend's good. The parents were in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, went to see the African American History Museum.
Nice.
Which is
That just opened.
unbelievable
Opened up last year, right?
experience. Yeah, it's an unbelievable experience. Definitely recommend it.
Mhm.
And
Black History Month, February.
yep. And then And then went to see Black Panther last night.
Nice.
Which is an unbelievable movie.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth the hype.
And if you're going to go to the African American History Museum, because I went like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
definitely try to go on a weekday.
Yeah.
Because it was already slammed when I went on a weekday. I took the day off to go see it.
Mhm.
And I can't even imagine what it'd be like on the weekend. Like it'd be too many people. You couldn't get through everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard it's like obviously it's one of the best museums just because it's so new. But
Yeah.
I mean, you've actually seen it. It's like, what is it? 5 stories?
6.
6 stories? Did you get all 6?
Only went to 5. I mean, to Bada's point, unbelievably packed.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just so much content. I mean, there's so much, rooted in the history of, the building of America.
Yeah.
It revolves around African American history, which is really cool and really awesome to visualize.
Hell yeah.
You got to start from the bottom floor and go up.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's the best way to
have
do it.
people have done it backwards or?
I don't know. I mean, that's just like that was the recommendation we got. And
There's just a way to do it.
yeah, and it's just like that's the timeline. Like you could jump to the higher up floors because it gets more packed downstairs.
Yeah.
Like when everybody goes in, but it's honestly just worth spending your time down there in the bottom floors first to really like see everything there, and then by the time you're like spent a lot of time in a museum and you've been taking a lot of information, your brain's tired, like you go up and there's a lot more lighthearted material on the top floors that you can browse through.
What was like your favorite exhibit or aspect of it?
Ooh, I liked Barack Obama's.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They went all out on that one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
his section was really great.
Really?
Powerful.
I mean, for me, it's probably the civil rights movement, understanding the sacrifice and kind of the nature of where our country was back during the '60s, and almost being able to draw parallels to
Today.
So it's interesting because it's definitely not as black and white, and segregation's obviously something of the past, but there are components that still exist.
Right, like systemic.
Yeah,
like
systemic racism and just kind of the institutional understanding that people always will identify as being different, and understanding that yes, we're all different, but we're all the same. Is something
Facts.
It's just fact.
Yeah, you posted on Instagram and you were like, "We still have a long way to go," which is accurate.
Yeah.
Very accurate in today's time.
For example, I mean, just to put things into context, they're showing like, white supremacists marching, and how it like happened in one time period, happened again,
like in 2018.
Then also last summer,
everything is advanced now.
Marching,
like we have so much further, like there's so much like more advanced technology, and people you would think have developed along with that technology, but history repeats itself, man. I definitely agree with that ideal. And then you check out Black Panther too. So was that like, I know that they probably tied in like historical context outside of just like the superhero aspect of the movie too, right?
Yeah. So
without spoiling anything. Because I haven't seen it.
And honestly, if you've watched a bunch of the trailers, you've watched pretty much the entire plot of the movie. I mean, nothing in the movie is like a big like guess.
Yeah.
There's no like really. I mean, there's like a couple of huge surprises, but there's no like everything just goes kind of how you will predict it to go.
Right.
I'll say what really stood out to me was there were a lot of like underlying ideals and messaging that they were throwing with the entire utopian society where Black Panther's from, and in contrast to the rest of the world. And it's good. I mean, it's worth the hype. It's really worth the hype, and especially to see Marvel Universe. And Mike and I were talking about this yesterday. Marvel Universe just completely and utterly taking something and making it serious and putting the money behind a really, really great concept that it didn't seem like a joking movie.
Yeah.
It seemed much more like this was a very legitimate film that will years from now be looked at as an iconic piece of art.
Yeah, it was all focused on Black Panther's story too, which was great. Like, you weren't sidetracked by a bunch of other spin-offs into other Marvel heroes.
Okay, so they didn't plug in little Easter eggs or anything.
It's just about Black Panther. They did a really good job up front. This is something that we were talking about. They just did a great job of making sure that you couldn't poke holes in anything, and you weren't lost as to the origin story or anything like that. It was all really solid, concrete, well thought out.
Yeah.
So that when you're watching the movie, it's just all believable.
Yeah, you're not at any point going wait, why is he able to do that? Or wait, who is this guy? Or what's going on?
Yeah.
At all times, you're okay, here's what's happening.
Right.
This is what they want to stop, and this is what they have to do to stop it, and here are the challenges along the way.
Yeah.
And when we clearly understand why it's happening.
Right.
And it's not anything. It has nothing to do with really oh my God, a Martian's gonna come from space and blow the fucking Earth up. That's not ever an issue. It's very believable and understandable. Outside, there's the utopian society, Wakanda, that's obviously make believe, but they make it seem realistic, which is good.
That's cool, man. I definitely want to get out and check it. It's already broken records. What is it, 192 million already? I just saw that.
They're not through the weekend yet, so
unreal. Yeah, that's definitely going to set records. One of the best Marvel
one thing
movies.
I'll say, out of my 26 years of being alive, I've never gone to a movie theater 35 minutes early and had a line wrapping around the movie theater.
35 minutes early?
Yeah.
And it was slammed.
It was slammed.
The movie theater didn't even know how to control the amount of people that were in the theater.
It felt like a cultural experience. I'm standing in line with...
Everyone was probably wearing their African garb too.
There were some people that had their faces painted and whatnot.
Really?
Yeah, it was out kind of in the suburbs, so brothers and sisters out there are taking the whole African thing too seriously. But it was crazy. We got there being let's get there so we can get any seat we want, and there's already 85 to 100 people in line in front of us.
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
Dude, if I was gonna go see it, I'd probably put on my dashiki.
Yeah.
My 30 whatever % West African. I gotta represent.
Yep.
Did you dress up?
Fun fact, you're a mixed blend of a bunch of ethnicities, but reading the African American History Museum, Thomas Jefferson enslaved his kids that he had with Sally Hutton. So
really,
your ass will probably be out there in the field with the rest of us.
Just because I got a little melanin?
Nah, because you're black enough. You're enough West African to get out there and shuck some sugar cane and pick some cotton.
God damn it. God. Anyways.
Just talking facts.
Hey,
dude.
man, no, it is what it is.
It is what
I'm
it
not
is.
even denying it. Shit. But yeah, man. Well, I definitely have to check that out.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is the special effects are unbelievable.
Cast is crazy.
The cast is ridiculous.
Well, they had
the action scenes are sick.
Yeah, they're sick.
And also another thing about it, it was a pretty I thought it did a great job in giving female actresses very strong roles to play in that movie.
Right. I actually saw comments about that.
Everybody around Black Panther, he's really the one dude, then there's the bad guy dude, but everybody around Black Panther, the king, is a strong female warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Or incredibly intelligent, leading the technology division of Wakanda.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was great.
Yeah, so that's huge when it comes to breaking parallels of the normalities of how people have depicted women and especially people of color in movies, the stereotypes.
It just showed a refreshing view on a society untouched by the rest of the world and what that might look like.
Right.
Dude, I can't believe I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't seen it either.
Maybe I'll go see it tonight.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should go see it. Everybody should go see it.
Just
it's
like a lot
really well done. We were talking about. We're saying like out of the Marvel movies, like
it's one of the best.
It's got to be one. It's got to be one. Of the best.
I think it's
not
probably tied for the best. I think it's tied for the best with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
He put out a clear number one, and we were saying overall.
Not just because of ticket sales either, but like
no, just because of like pure and utter content that like means something. It's not like a mindless movie of billionaire, vigilantes out there blowing up entire cities. Like, it's just very good. Without giving, and the more we talk about it, the more I'm going to start giving away the entire plot.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can just pivot onto another talking point. But that was, you've sold me. Like, I didn't even have to see any trailers anymore. Like, I'm just going to...
Yeah, don't watch any more of the trailers. It gives away a lot of the plot.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
What was the next thing we were going to get onto? We're just going to pivot just straight off of the movie into, like, Tinder.
Well, I think I'll say a couple other things about movies recently, because I've seen a handful of... So, beyond Black Panther, we got the Academy Awards coming up.
Yeah.
And so, out of the ones that I've seen, like, Get Out came out a while ago, but, like, obviously, if you haven't seen that, like, you have to go see it. Incredible
movie.
And then, and I think that's an incredible movie that deserves to be an Academy Award nominated movie. Three Billboards is awesome. I think the lead actress, I'm blanking on her name right now.
The woman from Fargo.
Yes. It's terrible I'm blanking on her name, but she could definitely win Best Actress and probably should. The movie itself is incredible. It's funny. It's really sad. It's serious. It's lighthearted. Like, just a great story.
I need beer.
And then Shape of Water. Also recommend going to see that. That could win Best Director. That could win Best Picture. So a lot of underlying themes.
Who was in Shape of Water? I remember seeing like the trailer for it, but I forget who the main actor was.
The main actor is the main actress. I don't know the name. I don't know her name.
Okay.
But then there's
so it's like up and coming.
I don't know anything about the movie.
Yeah, so it's got the guy. It's got the father from Step Brothers. In it.
Oh, okay.
He's like the lead actress's best friend.
Not Dale.
No, the father of Will Ferrell.
Right.
You don't know his name.
Yeah. I forget his name. Doback.
But yeah, I mean that's a great movie. And then Darkest Hour is also awesome. He'll probably win Best Actor. He plays Churchill to a T.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, like, at this point, I think a lot of the thematic, big blockbuster films don't really have a lot of the lore that they used to have. And which is why, at this point, I'm kind of over the Oscars. I'm really over a lot of these award shows. I mean, I think it's...
Why? You think it's kind of convoluted, or...
Yeah, I mean, there's too much of people just putting their personal opinions out and or trying to, like, say some, radical, crazy thing. Like, make it about the music, make it about the movies. Don't make it about anything else.
About your own, like, political agenda or your own...
And if you want to do something to support a cause, which I'm all for, go out and just donate a ton of money, like, and or like throw yourself into it. Like, I'm kind of tired of seeing all these celebrities out here
being social justice
just like
warriors.
Talking, being social justice warriors, and then you have guys like Colin Kaepernick who goes out and actually like does stuff. I mean, the guy donates so much money. Yeah. God forbid the guy's banned from the NFL.
Right. Yeah, they blackballed.
And he, we don't see him like out there, saying and and yes, at the ESPYs he did have an awesome speech, but outside of that, like. My man speaks on his forum when he's supposed to speak about his cause and the work that he's done.
Yeah, he's using his platform.
Yeah, uses his platform, but doesn't just go out like into random different awards shows and just
regurgitate. Yeah.
Yeah,
and not back it up.
It gets old.
I hear you. Like, did you see Drake's new video? Mm-hmm. That was sick.
Have you seen it?
Which one?
God's Plan.
God's Plan.
No, I haven't.
He just like finds like people that are struggling like financially and like. Aren't like haven't have like fallen on good times, and he just donates that gives them cash like tens of thousands of dollars.
This is in Miami.
Yeah.
I did see a video of him go into the grocery store.
Yeah,
it's like everybody's groceries.
Like that's awesome. Like that is going and doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's not and granted like he could, and who knows what he'll do at the award shows moving forward. But it's not like we saw Drake at the Grammys
Standing
up on
up,
stage just being like,
being a
hey,
social
we need
justice
to
warrior.
be social justice warriors with each other. I mean, my man went out there, and I mean, we joke about it all the time. Like, these people make millions, billions of dollars. Like, why don't you, make an angel donation to the Struggling Salesman Foundation at 450K Street, apartment 201.
Or the struggling project manager.
Yeah, throw your boy like $5,000. You know how much that, would take.
That would go
a long way.
That would go a long way.
Go a long way.
For
And
me,
then,
man.
and like jokes aside, but there are people out there, and they hit on this kind of an undertone in Black Panther. There are people out there that just struggle.
Right.
Help them.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't just talk.
Yeah. It's one thing to say a bunch of stuff. It's another thing to take action and do it.
Right.
I mean, I feel like in this day and age, just because there's so many social media avenues and whatnot, and like we were talking about social justice warriors, like people just feel empowered. They see something go on and it's like, oh, let me get some plus points from my social media following to let them know that I care about this. But in reality, after I send this tweet out or this Facebook post out, I'm really just not going to do anything. I'm probably just going to carry on with my day and just do the same exact thing. But I feel good about myself because I made a fucking post on Facebook or tweeted about it. Like, that's not doing anything.
No.
It's not doing anything at all. But no, more props to Drake. If anyone has any qualms with that dude, you're obviously just...
Well, Drake's the best.
Drake's the
good. Drake's the best rapper right now of our generation.
I mean, anything that he touches, it's going to be a top 100 song.
Yeah.
By
Anytime
far.
he releases a song, it breaks the streaming record.
By far, yeah.
Yeah, there's no denying that Drake is just everything he comes out with is just great.
He's the best.
I listen to all.
Dude's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And I'm sure that's I'm sure people would be like, oh yeah, Drake, you're just saying that because he's popular and blah blah blah. No, he's just he's there, he's here for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything he makes is sick.
I've been following the dude since the Degrassi days.
Well, and Drake's also not one of those types of dudes that sure, I'm sure he does whatever he wants to do. He's an adult. If he does drugs, he does drugs. He drinks, he drinks.
Who cares?
But he's not any of those types of
Getting
rappers that are all caught up, fucked up, dressed like fucking dumbasses. My guy's just well put together. He has his brand. He rocks his shit.
He has investments.
He's
got his Virginia Black whiskey company.
One sip and
woo!
Is that his dad?
That's his
dad.
In the commercial? Yeah. That commercial's hilarious.
Yeah, hold my drinks, right? Nice turtleneck.
That's an epic commercial. Literally, that's just anything he touches.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be gold.
Yeah.
Still somebody I have to see live that I have not seen yet.
Yeah. We'll make that happen.
Yeah.
Do you think he gets on Tinder?
Drake does not get on Tinder. Yeah. Tinder is...
I'm sure he could just go anywhere, but there's some people, James Franco gets on Tinder, and people are they'll match him.
James Franco
is not, that's not a good comparison.
To a 17-year-old girl.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either, but it doesn't surprise me either. But
James Franco's a psychopath.
Do you think that these celebrities actually get on Tinder and just...
Yeah, sure. I think it would be a fun bit.
People would probably think it's a fake account.
Yeah,
I would. If I matched a Mila Kunis or something, I'd be like, all right. But I would also be hyped as fuck, too.
This is a funny bit. Our buddy, who will go as nameless...
Yeah.
He got catfished. I can already see where this is going.
He gets catfished, but gets on. He's on Tinder, swiping matches. With someone who he thinks is just an absolute smoke shot. And so he sends it to us. He's like, guys, I'm talking to this girl, but look at the conversation. Essentially, the girl's like, I'm not gonna let you come to my place. I have to meet you at your place.
That sounds sketchy.
And our buddy, who again will remain nameless. He's just okay, no problem. Just shoots her his address.
That's sketchy.
And so he's,
red flag.
And so
no.
He sends us a text, and so I'm really good with faces. I'm like, oh man, I recognize that girl from somewhere. She's some sort of celebrity, and I just rack my brain a little bit and figure out that it's one of the blonde chicks from Danity Kane who's in the pictures, and that he's just gave his address to what I can only assume is a 35-year-old man living in his grandmother's basement who may or may not show up to his apartment and murder him.
Anyways, yes. So you would compare me as far as just shooting my shot to Kobe. Who else?
Carmelo Anthony.
Maybe
anybody that takes too many shots.
Maybe what's his name who played on I guess he's still on the Cavaliers.
J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith.
Nah, you don't even shoot as much as J.R. Smith shoots.
You don't think so?
No.
I think so.
No, he takes crazy shots.
Yeah.
So if you wanna, I guess, do you take crazy shots?
No, I don't send the shit that like he sends out.
Yeah, I mean, was it Amon Shumpert or J.R. Smith that Rihanna was like, he's a Desi thirsty?
I don't even remember. I only remember when JR sent out that tweet. Like some chick was like DM'd him and she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be at your game," and he just like immediately responds with, "Oh, word," and she was like, "Yeah," and then he just goes, "You trying to get the pipe?" Like, and like that was a meme. Like people ran with that. Like absurd shit.
JR being JR. I'm shocked.
I'm not like that.
A little bit of a pivot.
Advantageous.
A little bit of a pivot here. Now you brought up J.R. Smith. I'm shocked J.R. Smith wasn't one of the plethora of individuals that LeBron James decided to trade from the Cavaliers.
Yeah, it was probably some back and forth locker room. That was along with the IT trade too, right?
Yo, LeBron James walked into the locker room the day before.
Fired everybody.
Yeah, the day before, like it was just like a mass firing. Or like 24 hours ago, it's like, all right, everybody. It's the Hunger Games. Who's going to fight to be on this team? Half of you guys are going to be gone by the end of tomorrow.
And IT was just like, all right, bro, I'm out. Like,
no, IT was gone before he got there.
Poor IT.
Poor IT. You know, IT, my problem with IT is IT just like, he was with Boston. Boston was fun. Then he had like that unbelievable tragedy, which was like terrible. You know what I mean? And like, Boston like got behind him. He's like, yo, like, this is home for me.
Right.
I love it here.
Yeah.
And then Boston's like, yeah, your hip is like blown out.
They made a business decision.
And Kyrie Irving is on the trading block, so we're gonna throw the sink at that and made a business decision. Mm-hmm. And so he took it really, 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 really personally, which he shouldn't have done. And it's like saying all these things like Danny Ainge is a traitor. Like I can't believe this. Like I love the city of Boston. Why would they ever trade me? And meanwhile, like Kyrie goes to Boston, does not say a damn word. Ever.
He loves it.
He loves it.
He's like this is like a real sports city.
I never hear anything about it, like because he has nothing else he needs to say. And IT gets Cleveland and makes this big deal like I'm an all-star, slow grind. I'm gonna be back in the game. Guy finally comes back for Cleveland, plays like maybe a half of a game, and LeBron James is like, "Dog, I didn't sign up for this shit. We gotta get IT out of here. He's not nice. He's not good enough. I miss Kyrie." They shipped him out of town, shipped everybody out of town.
What?
Yeah. And they look a lot better.
And I just think the whole IT thing got so blown up. Like it just didn't need to be.
I'm sure he was pointing fingers a lot.
He got traded. He could have made like one comment and been like, "Yeah, it sucks. Like I love Boston.
But it's a business.
But you know what? It is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. So just like let it go. Like share how you feel with the people that are close to you, but like don't make a big huge media scene about it because then it just got awkward, honestly, for everyone.
Right.
Yeah. Really awkward. Like now he's in LA and it's really.
And now he's getting passed around the league.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hurting his like stock at this point. Like teams don't want to give him that.
Well, he's in a contract year. He wants to get a max deal. He's not going to get a max deal.
I mean, they're all in on Lonzo, right?
I mean, Lonzo's a rookie.
Yeah, but they're
going
to try.
Point guard. Like
they're going to try and tag him though before they would do.
Lonzo's got a 3-year deal as a rookie deal, so he's not even up for question right now.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just IT who's like on the chopping block, but still, I mean, he's been traded 3 times now?
Twice.
Well,
no, I mean, over his career, probably 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Like that, I guess that hurts his
he's a good player. I mean, he had a chip on his shoulder. He's the last player taken in the draft, and he was drafted. He really had a quiet start to his career. Like went on the come up, worked really hard, but now I think he's become a drama queen, and I'm not about it. Like I don't care about IT because he's not relevant. Like the Lakers aren't relevant. He was not relevant on the Cavs when they went on a 13.
He was relevant in Boston.
Yeah, he was relevant on Boston, but that was because he was shooting the ball every time, and he also overshadowed a lot of other players like Roziers, Smart, Brown. Like all those guys didn't have their breakout year until IT left.
Yeah.
Right. And then Rozier started popping off.
Rozier pops off.
Yeah.
Brown pops off.
Mm-hmm.
Like Marcus Smart pops off. All those guys were tremendous players that were taking a backseat to a guy that was taking 30 shots a game that's like 5'9" and a complete liability on defense.
That's the other thing. Complete liability on defense.
Just couldn't play defense.
Guy has the worst plus minus in the NBA. I mean, that in itself just speaks volumes as to the shortfalls that guy has on the basketball court. I don't think he's a player you can build around. Yeah. I mean, when they played the Cavaliers last year, I knew that the Celtics weren't going to win because there's no way in hell that Isaiah Thomas was going to guard Kyrie.
Well, there was nobody that could guard LeBron James.
Crowder tried.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like
they won. The
LeBron
only
James
game
is
that
a freak, though. He's going to get his.
Like the only game that the Celtics won in that series was when IT was out.
Right.
The chemistry was better. I guess you could kind of like. I mean,
That's
would it be like similar to how like John Wall's been out for a bit and the Wizards are?
That's not similar. I mean, the Wizards are coming into their own. I think it's good that John Wall is out because they're able to, like really highlight some new talent.
Yeah.
But I mean, that new talent is still going to flourish when John Wall gets back.
Yeah.
John Wall's a machine on defense. John Wall is the fastest player, like end to end.
Right. He's a beast.
He's a beast.
I just remember they were just trying to start that narrative, like the
and
media
like,
was.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But also, like John Wall is signed on to be a franchise guy.
Yeah.
He's got a 5-year contract.
They're not letting go.
They don't make a business decision like that if they don't think that he's a guy that's going to bring this team to the next level.
Right.
And he quite literally could. Their team's very good.
He just needs more help, honestly.
I don't know if it's more help. I think that they need someone in their front court that's just like very, very, very solid. I don't think Martin Gortat's the answer.
I don't think so.
Once they figure that out, I mean Bradley Beal, Otto Porter, and John Wall.
Yeah, that's a
these
good
guys
three.
are beasts.
Yeah.
You throw in that.
And they're talking about Boogie.
Eastern European guy. I mean, Boogie tore his ACL, so I mean, we could probably get him for 1 year next year.
Yeah.
Who knows? And I don't think it was a complete rupture. It's really sad to see what happened to Kristaps Porzingis. He's going to miss most of next year too.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, he got a complete rupture.
Yeah, it was nasty.
But yeah, I mean, and I guess on that point, as we talk about like injuries and John Wall going down, I mean, so many guys are getting hurt these days. Whether it's in the NBA, the NFL. I don't think the MLB really has a problem like this, but I do think it's something that's a major issue. These guys working their bodies the way that they are. I mean,
they're just bigger than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Well, but there's just too many games.
The game's so fast. They're so big. It's just so injury prone.
There's too many games.
Yeah.
It's so grueling on their bodies.
Like I think that I looked at last year's season for the NFL and I put a little bit of an asterisk around it because like we didn't see like a lot of guys play. Like let's take David Johnson for example. I mean, the guy played like a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 overall pick in everybody's fantasy league.
Right.
Guy doesn't see the field
all year.
Because he goes down.
And that sucks. And like the Cardinals were a team that people were picking to contend.
Yeah.
Like maybe to go to the Super Bowl and like David Johnson just doesn't play. When you see guys like Odell Beckham Jr. go down, it's like that's not fun.
I mean, that hurt me. I'm a big OBJ guy.
You even have somebody like Gronk threatening to just retire. And whether that's serious
because
or
of
not,
all the concussions
that's
and
a whole different conversation. But like the fact of the matter is, I wouldn't even blame him because the guy's putting his body and mind on the line every day.
Yeah.
Right.
And like
and CTE
going through back surgeries,
real.
knee surgeries, how many concussion protocols?
Right.
Like, the game is so violent,
Just
so fast.
Look at the NBA and you look at a guy like Derrick Rose who, let's go ahead and say a little less than 10 years ago won an MVP award, and
God, he can't say.
Guy jumped out the gym. He's tore and he's torn every ligament in both of his legs.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy to save his life, but like poor guy. But damn, man, his heart's still in it. His heart's still in it.
He's a free agent.
He should probably.
He should come work at Bloomberg Government.
You think he'd be good schlepping Bloomberg technology?
I'll tell you, he won't need his knees.
I think we're getting close to I'm trying to keep it under an hour.
All right.
The podcast, so I think I'm gonna probably wrap it up. I think we're only at 45 minutes or so.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think we're close to 45 minutes. But yeah, man, I appreciate it again. If you're listening, thanks a lot. We would love feedback as always. Please let us know on social media or whatever if you know what topics you want to hear, because right now obviously we're off the cuff, just doing anything that's relevant in today's media. Just let us know. But thank you again, and we look forward to putting out some more content in the next week or so. Stay frothy. Peace.